T-Bone and Heather in the morning on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
Hello, my friends.
Hello. Happy Good Friday.
Good Friday to all that. And hello to you, sir.
Here's Johnny.
Yay.
Morning.
Good morning. How are ya?
Oh, wonderful. It's spring break week.
Come on.
Went to Great Falls yesterday for the first time.
Oh, really?
That's been on my bucket list forever. I've lived in this area my entire life and always known it was there. Never got around to do it.
Yeah?
That place is breathtaking.
Really?
It's amazing,
Nice.
yeah.
Take the kids out there.
Yeah, took the kids out. Yep.
How
yep.
they had liked it? They had a
they
good
loved
time,
it,
or they
yeah.
just went, "Oh, Dad,
But they
okay,
love
Dad,
giving me
check."
a heart attack.
Can't get into reception out here.
Yeah, climbing on slippery rocks near giant
Right.
falls and stuff like that. You know, what you
Oh,
do.
of course.
That is the only benefit to children is that they'll force you to go do things that you probably want to do but are too lazy to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you go, you're like, this was awesome.
I'll never understand that about like the human psyche is there's so many things like you do them and when you do them like, well, this wasn't too hard to do and it's amazing and I'm so glad we did this. But you don't remember that feeling because the next weekend there's something else you're like, I don't feel like doing it. When you know if you just did it, it would be awesome. But
Exactly.
yeah.
And for those of you
good
who are
week.
about to call in, I stand by what I said. That's the only thing good about children. 13 minutes after 7 o'clock, 7:13. So let's talk movies.
Yes. So this week we've got one major release, but I did want to kind of go back in time, the Wayback Machine.
Yep.
Because I wasn't here last week, so we didn't get a chance to talk about Warfare.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
No,
Just
have not.
All right, so it's a based on. I always mix up the towns. I believe it's Ramadi. It's based on the Battle of Ramadi. But it's a Iraq War movie about Navy SEALs, but it's not a run-of-the-mill war movie. It's done in a way that it's shot in real time. Number one, and this thing is just so tense and so visceral and so hard-hitting all the way through it. I know I sound like a standard review adjective.
Right.
Mad
This is
Lib
the
box,
one with
but
Tony
it really
Soprano's
does.
kid, right?
Well, yeah, he shows up in a lot of different stuff
Yeah.
too. By the way, he's in the new Daredevil show. But yeah, he's in that. But if you haven't seen it, I just and you're a fan of that type of movie, definitely you want to put this on your list because it is the type of movie that in a theater I think it gives you a little bit more bang for your
I
buck.
saw an interview with him talking about. Now, he was fair in saying this, and I think it's also fair to state. He said, look, we had a truncated, a pared-down boot camp, but they did send him to boot camp.
Yeah.
All the actors, for a number of reasons. One, to get them in shape to do the role.
Right.
Two, so they would look authentic, know how to handle the weapons, all that kind of stuff. But also to get that, that brotherhood connection kind of thing going.
Yeah,
That,
you can't fake that. So
You
have
can't
to do
fake it, and
something,
it's got to be forged in struggles and stuff like that. So they had to go to boot camp.
Wow.
And they had to go through it and pass it, or they don't get the role.
Yeah, and I mean it shows because you can really there's an authenticism is what I was about
Yep,
to say.
yep.
Sure.
There's a feeling of being authentic that you get when they've done the work to get there.
Right.
And it's just like I said, the real time thing. I don't want to repeat that too much, but it really does. That can be a gimmick that works or doesn't work, and in this case, it really does work. It ups the tension throughout, and for all of us, we all knew war is bad and all that. But even the Iraq War, which I lived through over here on this side, you don't feel what they're feeling over there, and this is the kind of movie that it's not going to replicate it obviously, but it gives you more of an idea of the kind of hellish days those guys would have.
Sure. And they're going through it all the time, 24/7.
What was the movie 13 Hours about the Benghazi?
Secret
man.
Soldiers of Benghazi. Yep.
No, this one was
With the guy from The Office.
There's the one with the guy from The Office, and
the
there's
guy,
another
the one from The Office.
Okay, so that's 13 hours. The
I
Secret
thought
Soldiers
that
of Benghazi.
was incredibly done. I thought
Oh, yeah.
that was,
That-
and that was almost in real time. Not real time,
Well,
but
no, it couldn't be. It would have been 13 hours.
Exactly, but I mean,
Well, the main part of the raid, I think, was because there was part of it. You're right. There was
Right.
part of it that was in real time. Like
Right.
at some point they're like, "Oh, our backup's going to be here in 26 minutes or whatever," and
Right.
And then it
it's
never
real time.
came.
and you
Yeah.
waited and waited and waited. Yeah,
Right.
that was another good one, but heartbreaking. It's hard to watch those
Yeah.
movies. It really is.
Yeah, definitely not a feel good film,
Yeah.
but it's definitely if you're a fan of war films. But to this week, Sinners is a big release we have this week.
Okay, tell us about Sinners.
Michael B. Jordan, he's playing dual roles, twin brothers that spent some time in Chicago learning the trade. They're World War I vets. They learned the criminal trade from the guys in Chicago and came back down to Mississippi to open a a gin joint.
Okay.
And,
all right.
and that's where the vampires come in.
Oh,
Yeah, left hand turn.
vampires.
Sure.
Okay.
Well,
So-
it jumped up a notch.
Yeah, and honestly, I would have preferred the marketing kept the horror aspect of this down a little bit because I always like being like From Dusk Till Dawn
Just
was
a
one of my
surprise.
favorite surprises.
Yeah,
like I don't know how I didn't know because they didn't really hide it too much, but you start out with a heist movie and you end up in a vampire movie. And
Right.
That's kind of this is more like you start in a crime movie and you end up in a vampire movie, but it was a lot of fun, and it's Ryan Coogler did it, who did Black Panther and Creed, and the way he works music into it, it's just you get that real 20s and 30s speakeasy feel about
Gotcha.
everything. Michael B. Jordan, who's
Rotten
always
Tomatoes
awesome.
loved it.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't think it broke the mold enough to really be at the level people are saying it is.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think it's as memorable as people are saying it is. But my main problem with it, if I have a problem with it, is like I said, Michael B. Jordan plays twins. Mm-hmm. There's no real defining characteristics between the two, so
I
you
gotcha.
can't tell which one's which.
Gets muddy.
Yeah, like I understand it can be cheesy if you have one that has a lisp or one that's got some weird defining thing that really one wears a purple hat or
Or a
something all the
limp,
time.
right.
But it does help. I mean, when you're sitting there like, I don't remember which one this is.
Yeah,
And they're
it does
basically
help.
they're two brothers, and if you have two brothers that look exactly the same and they grew up together, they're going to be pretty
Okay,
similar.
this is
so-
a weird thing, and it speaks to my own stupidity, but I'm sort of stating this hoping for confirmation. Mm-hmm. This is one of the big problems I have with reading. Okay?
He doesn't like to read.
I know where you're going, and I agree with you, especially with certain books.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so I'm reading books, right? I'll be reading a book, and they'll have 10 characters whose names are very similar.
Game of Thrones books
Game of Thrones,
are the
yeah.
biggest offender.
And then you're
Harris,
like, well,
Harris,
wait, is
Harris.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then you go, well, is that the guy that, well, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then I've got to go back 19 chapters to figure out who it is on chapter 47. And I'm like, I hate this.
You end up like a conspiracy theory guy with all those post-it notes on the wall with strings in between them and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't all you would-be authors out there,
Do a
Yeah.
family tree in the beginning.
you've got every name in the world. Make the names different.
right.
Well, that's what kills me about it's specifically like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, those books, which is ridiculous because they both made up their own languages. You couldn't make
Yeah.
up names
Right.
different enough. You have
or just call
literally
him
the entirety.
Steve and Brian.
Yeah,
It's hard to keep
Brian, first of his name. Right? You know?
It's very hard to
Doesn't work
keep
the same.
track.
The keeper of the rings, Steven.
That's why I end up waiting for the movie.
Right.
Books are so stupid.
Yeah. Pictures.
So Sinners.
Yes.
That's
Sinners
coming
out.
out.
Yeah. Also, Sneaks is out, which I did not get to see, but I this is a animated movie about talking sneakers. Hence, Sneaks.
Okay.
Animated movie about
About
talking
talking-
sneakers.
Yep.
Well, we've run out of ideas,
you know what?
I think.
I mean, they all sound ridiculous when you put the log line out there like that, but we've had talking cars, everything's talked at this point, so why
Sure.
not sneakers?
Why not sneakers?
But it's, we talked a few weeks ago about a trend in kids movies that they're actually kids movies these days. Like they're not all made for dual purpose adult and kids. And what I'm getting is that this is one of those. Kids are going to watch it and have fun. If you're not movie theatered out after the Minecraft movie and your kids are wanting to go, I'm sure they're going to have just a fine time with it. But that's out for you as well.
I got two picks. If you have access to Apple TV, they're both on there. And for whatever reason, I'm not on Apple a lot, but these two are excellent. Blackbird,
Yeah.
which is
Fantastic.
Watch Blackbird; it's great.
It's really good.
The other one is, and Heather does it. She hates this guy, so she won't watch it. Seth Rogen in the studio. I'm going to tell you right.
I love behind the scenes Hollywood stuff.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't set the bar real high when it comes to Seth Rogen as far as great writing. He kind of comes off as a doofy kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's
This
a
thing is
frat
so
boy, yeah.
well written. Mm-hmm. It is so great. And when you were talking about sneakers, he's I'm not going to give anything away. I'll make it real quick. He's a studio executive, and he's now the head of the studio. And the owner of the studio comes to him, who is an eccentric weird guy, played the guy from Breaking Bad. He's just this weird guy, and he goes, "Here's what we got. They've got Barbie. It made $2 billion. I just bought the rights. Are you ready? Kool-Aid Man. Make it happen. I need a $2 billion movie." Kool-Aid
I love
Man.
it because you know those conversations really happen.
Well,
you know,
and-
they
and
really do.
His reply, this is what I'm talking about, great writing. He's like, "Can you do it?" And Seth Rogen looks at him and goes, "Oh, yeah." That's great. That's great writing, right?
I mean, yeah, I would be disappointed if he didn't write that
Yeah.
reply. So you don't like Seth Rogen? Is it his laugh? It's his laugh, isn't it?
I think it's not his laugh. I did like the interview that he did with the Kim Jong Il thing. With there's just something about him. I don't know.
Fair point. Yeah, no, I mean, I
yeah.
can see how he's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
he's-
telling you right now, that studio's great.
I'll watch it.
It's good.
Yeah,
And
I'll watch it.
I will. I want to just second a suggestion you made a few weeks ago in Mobland.
my
I did watch
God.
that.
Home run, baby.
It is.
Tom Hardy
and this
is
is
just-
the problem with the oversaturation of media is there's so many shows out
Yeah.
that there are legitimate Sopranos level shows coming out.
I'm not
that-
sure The Sopranos. Well, this isn't. We could do a whole show on that. I'm not
Would it have
sure.
been noticed?
Would have
Yeah.
been. Right. I don't even
Yeah.
know that it certainly wouldn't be everybody talking about it at the water cooler every Monday.
Yeah. No,
It
that-
would be another great show that maybe some people watch.
100%, 100%. Because I mean, Mobland is. I mean,
it is
you
so
got,
intense.
what
Tom
Pierce
Hardy,
Brosnan. I
Pierce
wanna say
Brosnan,
Preston
Tom
Blake.
Hardy, and Helen Mirren,
Helen
who
Mirren,
is evil.
Patty Considine.
Yeah.
and it's as we talked about the other week. You know, it's British crime families fighting each other, but it's Tom Hardy is so bloody good in this.
He
is. It's an amazing, and it's really got me hooked. I can't wait to keep watching that. Then also you have Daredevil Born Again, which the series finale, or excuse me, the season finale just came out, so you can finish that
Yeah.
series up.
Nice.
I'm a couple episodes in on that.
Great run for that show, really coming back strong. So a lot of stuff to watch out there. For
All
sure.
right. Go out to the movies, get yourself a big box of popcorn, and enjoy it.